Hello, Namaskar viewers. I am Sanjeev Pandya welcoming you to this week's edition of the Business Talk with AJ right here on ITV Gold. The show is brought to you by Sai CPS Services, a complete professional accounting firm located in state of New Jersey with multiple locations, and they can assist you in any tax matter, tax filing, personal or even a corporate taxes, and also bookkeeping services, payroll services. They can also guide you where to invest your money, especially this time of the year till December 31st, 2023, in order to save on your taxes when you go to file your return next year. Their on-hand experienced CPAs are there to help you out with any question you may have. You can reach them by calling 908-380-6876 or visit their website, which is sciencecpsservices.com. With that note, I'd like to welcome Mr. AJ Kumar of Science CPS Services to the show, The Business Talk with AJ. So good to have you.
Thank you, Sanjeevji. Thank you for the kind introduction.
You're very welcome. And here we are with another episode, this week's edition of the Business Talk with AJ. So we are here in the first week of November. The midterm elections are over. Democrats did slightly better than Republicans, even though Republicans were hoping to do better. But, slightly they did better. So midterm elections are over. Republican Party's third presidential debate took place. Only 5 candidates were on a stage. Donald Trump, of course, qualified, but he decided to stay away. While this debate took place in Miami, Donald Trump was away a few miles holding a huge rally in Florida for his supporters. And this debate was very interesting because 2 Indian American candidates, Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, had really chit chat with each other. They were taking on each other very badly. So that's that news. And talk about Donald Trump. His civil trial in New York is also going in full swing. He testified a couple of days ago. Then his daughter Ivanka Trump just testified, and she says she really didn't know anything about the financial statements and the books and everything else. So now Donald Trump's lawyers have asked the judge to complete the investigation and reach the verdict, and that too in favor of the ex-president. So let's see what happens. NFL season is completely going well in the halfway through, and the World Cup 2023, the Cricket World Cup, is also in the final stage and is getting more and more exciting. But we got a lot of business related stories for you. First, we're going to start with mortgage rates. Who would have expected the mortgage rates would go down, and that's exactly what has happened.
Absolutely, Sanjeevji. But before we go to the mortgage rate, since we are talking about our President Trump and everybody loves talking about him,
yes,
we'll be amiss if we don't mention that in the recent CNN poll, Trump did better than current President Biden.
Yes.
So Trump's rating is actually far better, and it's mainly not because something that Trump did, it's mainly because Biden is seen as a weak president.
Not only that, but the more Trump stays away from those debates, the more supporters are really supporting him, and his numbers are going up. Imagine he's got civil trial going on in New York, right? $250 million civil trial going on, and his numbers are going up week after week.
Yep. Welcome to America.
Yep, that's right.
So now coming back to the mortgage rate, there is light at the end of this tunnel. We have a silver lining. Now finally, after a long time, we see the mortgage rates going slightly down. So it's nothing to be happy about. The only thing is not going up. The rates are coming down. So now we are hoping in next quarter, in next 2 quarters, hopefully by next summer, when the really mortgage season hits, when a lot of people go out of their way to buy house, to sell house, mortgage rates will be far better than what we have seen this season.
Yep, absolutely. I hope so. Even though, even for mortgage industry, November, December is very slow period.
Absolutely.
So I don't see much activity happening till the end of the year. But if rates slowly continue to come down, 2024, the first quarter should look a little better, and second quarter is expected to look much better. So let's see what happens. All right, so mortgage rates are down. Trump is really catching up in the polls and doing better than the sitting president. All right, and the U.S. presidential election is next year, as we all know that, 2024. And, the S&P 500 index is doing well. Stock market is doing well.
Absolutely. Stock market depends on the expectation. When things are going well, when the country is expecting some stability, when the interest rates, mortgage interest rates created a spike in the industry.
Yes.
When we see things are coming back to normal, mortgage rates is coming down, the interest rates are coming down. Federal government did not increase the rate, which they won't increase the rate if the mortgage rates keeps coming down. That creates positivity in the market. That's why S&P 500 was almost 14% higher than the prior month.
Yep. And overall stocks are gaining up also. So
Absolutely.
Let's see if this momentum continues till the end of the year. Now, listen, we are not the only ones, meaning, non-government individuals. We're not the only one paying interest on the loans. U.S. government's interest payment on the debt, on the national debt, is almost reaching $1 trillion.
That's amazing. So current U.S. debt, if you put everything in perspective, is almost 33 trillion.
Correct.
Not billion, not million, 33 trillion dollars.
Yes.
For the first time, the annual debt cost has crossed $1 trillion in last October. This interest cost have increased more than twice in last 18 months, in a year and a half. So government has taken a lot of loans. The interest rates have increased overall. So the cost of doing business is not high for you and me only. The cost of doing business is higher for the US government as well. $1 trillion
$1 trillion
of interest payments.
Absolutely. This has been a news. According to Bloomberg, fiscal year 2023, in the fiscal year that ended on September 30th, the US government paid $879 billion
Absolutely.
in interest cost on its more than $33 trillion debt.
So on an annualized basis, if you look at the October end,
Yes.
the annual cost is $1 trillion plus.
And talk about this $33 trillion debt. Vivek Ramaswamy in the last presidential debate, right, mentioned that because of these wars which started to happen 20 years ago, it has added some $7 trillion debt in the
Absolutely,
national
everything
debt.
adds up. I mean,
Yep.
when the economy goes down, when the infrastructure has to be improved, when there is a war somewhere else, and the US government is giving loans, funding to Ukraine and everything else, this all adds up to the current economic debt.
Ukraine is number one thing, even though they were discussing presidential debate and they are saying, we should not be giving so much money
A
to
lot of
Ukraine.
people are of that opinion. A lot of
Seriously.
people are of that opinion.
And now Israel is just around the corner. We already gave, hundreds of millions of dollars to Israel. And if this war continues, which is really, really going strong, right? If this war continues and if Israel wants to take over Gaza, of course, they're going to need more money. And
Absolutely. And the US government has already supported Israel openly, and they will be happy to send the resources out there. And if Iran is coming in support of Hezbollah, is coming support of Hamas, then say we are looking at another big situation.
25 years ago, 30 years ago, debt was just a number of $1 trillion.
Yep.
And now it has ballooned to 33 trillion. Is this what we're going to pass on to the next generation?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Something has to be done about it to bring it down to a normal number.
No, we just got to stop helping other nations. That's the number one thing.
Yes, help yourself first.
Correct, absolutely. All right, as you just heard a little while ago, that stock market is doing well, especially S&P 500 has been favoring really, really well to its investors. Now, while that's going on, IPO, all right, initial public offering, is slowly going down. Not too many companies are coming out.
Yes, it's always the other way around. So when we talk about the initial public offerings, IPO, a lot of new companies comes around this time, around Thanksgiving, Christmas. We see a lot of new companies coming out because people are typically in happy mood. People are typically willing to invest money into the stock market. But when people are uncertain about the situation, a lot of new companies hesitate. Right now, the interest rate is, prime rate is 8.5%. So instead of investing money into the stock market, hoping to make 10%, why would you not just put the money in a bank at guaranteed 6%?
Yep.
Banks are giving 5%, 6%. So it's harder for IPO companies to find money from the free market. That's why a lot of companies are taking a step back and thinking maybe this is not the right time to be bringing the company to the IPO.
All right, and just to give you in the numbers, in 2023, only 96 IPOs have raised $18.8 billion. And this was, of course, following a very slow, very lackluster year 2022.
Absolutely.
All right, we just talked about Israel-Gaza war situation, and Goldman Sachs, they have just predicted that Israel-Hamas war could have major implications for Europe's economy. Why only Europe's economy? I think US
Everywhere,
economy is
actually.
going to take a hit
Well,
also.
Just because they are close to Europe, the Europe will be the first affected region,
Okay.
but the whole world will be affected. The energy price will go up, the gas price will go up, just because everything depends on the transportation. The transportation can be expensive, all the food price will go up. Just because the news says Europe will be affected only because Europe will be the first region to be affected. Because it's close to the war region, but the whole world will get affected.
And Europe's economy is not doing that well either.
Absolutely.
So this is going to
All
put
the
a
more
major
reason.
dent in
Absolutely.
Europe's economy.
All the more reasons for them to be concerned about, especially when you're not doing well to begin with.
All right. Now, according to the latest news, and as per US confirming that, they're saying Israel will implement 4-hour pauses in fighting in areas of North Gaza every day. So for 4 hours, there will not be any firing from Israeli forces into northern Gaza, allowing the residents to leave or to be alert, so that way, so far 10,000 people have died. So at least that way they can save some human lives.
Absolutely, and I hope so. This is a good decision based on humanitarian effort. At least people can get out of that region. People can do what they have to do, go out and pick up the grocery, do what they have to do. They know there is guarantee that in this 4 hour, there will be no shelling, no fighting,
Nothing,
no shooting.
Yeah,
So
4
it's
hours completely pause.
So it's a good thing based on humanitarian effort. I'm glad that they came up with this arrangement.
Okay, and then quickly I want to add one line that CIA chief and Israel's spy agency Mossad chiefs and the US's CIA chief, they both went to Qatar to meet the officials in Qatar to find out a solution to this war problem. Obviously, hostages got to be released first of all, but they are trying their best in order to just stop this war situation. With that note, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got more business stories for you in the Business Talk with AJ show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the second half of the Business Talk with AJ, the show brought to you by Size CPA Services. Like I say, a complete accounting firm. They can help you out. They've been assisting thousands of their customers throughout the nation. So anywhere you are watching our show on the YouTube, on ITV Gold, on the Sling, wherever you are, all you need to do, pick up a call and give them a call, give them a ring, 908-380-6876. Pick up a phone and give them a call, 980-380-6876, or visit their website, sizecpaservices.com. If you are in the IRS tax audit, and if you are starting a business and need to know what kind of entity that you need to set up, anything and everything that has to do with the money and taxes, that's what Size CPA Services, they can help you out. So give them a call and try them out, and they will definitely guide you in the right direction, and you will be happy just like thousands and thousands of their clients are very happy. In this show, the Business Talk with AJ, every week we bring you all the latest business stories from US and around the globe, so that way you can be updated with what's happening in the world of business. As we talk about business, there are good news and there are bad news, but lately there have been a really downturn news because there was nothing when it comes to for entertainment. Since last almost 4 months, the entertainment industry came to a pause. They were stand still because of the Hollywood actors strike. It was going on, and there were a lot of talks going on between the studios, major studios, Hollywood studios, and the actors, and what they were asking and what they were getting. There were two different things. But the good news is that finally they have reached a tentative agreement. That means the TV shows and the cable shows and the movies, everything will be now getting into the production.
Absolutely. So we expect to see a lot of new shows. Not immediately. The strike, in principle, there is an agreement. So hopefully the strike will be over pretty soon, and then the things will go into production. So hopefully next 6 months to a year, we'll see a lot of new shows, a lot of new movies,
exactly,
a lot of new
and they reached the agreement just this week. So as AJ said, give it a couple of days. The actors' strike had delayed or halted several projects, such as Deadpool 3. Gladiator 2, and Wicked. All right, which could resume shooting very, very soon. And the end of the strike would also allow actors to participate in red carpets, talk shows, and podcasts as the award season approaches. And don't we all love to watch this kind of things? You know, red carpet is always very exciting. The award season is around the corner. And guess what? Disney chief Bob Iger was one of the critics of this Hollywood strike, and he had made some really, really hurting comments towards Hollywood actors who were on a strike, and it was very, kind of unprecedented comments he had made. But now, let's talk about Disney as a company. Expands cost-cutting plan by $2 billion, even though they did better in the profit.
Well, they did better in the profit. They're about 10% higher than what they were expecting. Their stocks are booming up, especially when the news came out that they are planning to put a strategy, a plan in place where they'll be cutting $2 billion in cost. A lot of this cost, if you think about from Disney perspective, is coming from their amusement park, from their TV channels. And Disney is not just Disney. Disney owns ESPN Plus. Disney owns Hulu. So there will be a lot of cost cutting. I'm sure it will also be followed by some firing, some layoffs. So a lot of this cost is coming from the staff expense, the salaries. So when you talk about $2 billion of cost cutting, you have to be looking at who is next.
Yep, this is going to be interesting. But anyway, in case if you really need to know, and if you have Disney stock and you haven't really followed up, here is the information that you need to know. Disney reported adjusted earnings per share of 82 cents, higher than the 70 cents expected by analysts. Not bad, 12 cents per share.
Yeah.
All right, Disney's revenue rose 5% year over year to $21.24 billion. But fell short of the $21.33 billion estimate, which is not that bad. 21.33 estimate versus 21.24. That is not bad. So, Disney's CEO Bob Iger now says the company's 4 key opportunities for the future are achieving profitability in its streaming business. That is very hard right now because on your smart devices you can watch.
And a lot of competition over there.
Exactly. But they want to have a really good profit our streaming business, building ESPN into the leading digital sports platform. I love ESPN. I'm a big fan of ESPN. Improving the output and economics of its film studios and accelerating growth in its parks and experiences businesses. See, all this comes with a high cost, labor cost. Right?
Absolutely, especially the fourth section, the amusement park and everything. Disney was lagging behind. They did not have the new infrastructure, they did not have the new rides, so their profits in the amusement parks were really, really going down.
Okay. All right. So now with all these things, of course, you need to have more money also, right? You need to have job and you need to have more money so you can pay for all these streaming devices and monthly services and whatnot. The list goes on. But U.S. payrolls increased by 150,000 in October, less than expected.
The expectation, the analyst expectation was about 170,000. It turned out to be 150. So it's not a good news. The blessing is it's not going down. It's not as high as we expected it to be, but it's still high enough. Instead of 170,000, we still have 150,000.
Yep. And the unemployment rate rose to 3.9%, the highest level since January 22.
And it's still not too bad. 3.9%.
Exactly. 3.9%
is really not that bad. I mean, even though we count the unemployment at 0.1% means thousands of people, we don't mean to minimize it, but 3.9% in a larger scheme of things is not bad unemployment rate.
The U.S. economy is experiencing a slowdown, which we all know about it, which may ease pressure on the Federal Reserve in its fight against inflation. But जब inflation की बात आती है, then of course interest rates come in the picture.
Of course.
And right now Fed is really holding on to increasing interest rates. So let's see what happens. All right. So is it time for a coffee and the donut? How about if we just talk about coffee and donut together? Two of the known franchises in the world. One is McDonald's, known for its coffee. McDonald's coffee is really good, though. It's cheaper than the Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, I tell you that. And the Krispy Kreme, known for its really tasty donuts. All right, now they're planning to team up.
So this whole concept came from the fact when Dunkin' Donuts had this relationship with Baskin Robbins.
Correct.
So now they have the hot section and they have the cold section.
Yes.
And they are saving a lot of money on the real estate.
Yes.
Dunkin' Donut is placed in a very, very popular street.
Correct.
Everywhere. It's premium space. And now Baskin Robbins get the same space over there. So the same concept is being implemented here, where McDonald will have relationship with Krispy Kreme. So they are not in the
But this is what I don't get it. Dunkin' Donuts, right? They're known for donuts and a coffee. They're dropping the name donuts because lately, whatever Dunkin' Donuts locations are remodeled, all you will see Dunkin'. They're completely dropping the name
that's a different
donuts.
concept. If you think about it, donuts have this negative connotation that they're too sweet, they're too unhealthy.
Fatty and
Dunkin' or Dunkin' Donut is trying to get into new product. Bagel twist.
Yeah.
They have different type of toast,
Oh,
different
yeah,
type of sandwiches.
I understand that. So they're dropping donuts, even though they made their name and the business through donuts.
Of course, of
all right?
course, of course.
And now Krispy Kreme is known for donuts, and now entering into McDonald's. So pretty soon you're going to see a rack of Krispy Kreme donuts in McDonald's.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the whole idea. McDonald's does not sell the donuts.
Yeah.
So they can have the donuts and the coffee to compete
So
against Dunkin'
Krispy
Donuts.
Kreme, they don't mind to put a fat on the people's body and everything by giving them sweet donuts. And the Dunkin' Donuts say no, donuts are there, but we are known
Dunkin'.
for Dunkin', which is a coffee. All right, so these are the things. Now let's talk about some business news and some stories coming out of India. First of all, Mumbai, Amchi Mumbai is in the news for the very first time, and this is for a good news because Mumbai ranks 4th in the global housing pricing index.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You would not expect that in a country where the prices are still in rupees, not in US dollars, not in euros. In Mumbai, the highest price, number 4th in the pricing.
Correct.
And that-
Mumbai's remarkable growth. The city has witnessed 6.5% year-on-year growth in prime residential places, and these properties are expensive.
Of course.
They're
of
beautiful.
Course, of course.
They're situated at a prime locations, but they are very expensive, right? And so now that has made Mumbai to come up, 18 places from 22nd in September 2022. Right now, Mumbai ranks number 4. So it has climbed up 18 spots.
18 spots over 1 year.
Yes, in 1 year. And this surge reflects the robust price trend in the upper end of the market.
Absolutely, and people are paying for it. That's
Yes.
how the price works.
Exactly. Now, let me just give some information because obviously our viewers would want to know exactly what does it mean that Mumbai ranks number 4. What does it mean? This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you top 5 areas which are really, really popular to own a property. All right, according to this survey. Manila, 21.2%, Manila, Philippines. All right, Dubai, 15.9%, and then you have Shanghai, 10.4%, and you have Mumbai, 6.5%, and then you have Madrid, Spain, 5.5%.
I'm surprised New York City
New York is not there. This
New York
is
City not
this
there.
is the prime global cities index.
Yeah,
This is
but
based
New
on
York
the-
City should be there.
Yeah, it's a valuation-based index tracking the movement of prime residential prices across 46 cities worldwide. All right. So I mean, there's a long list, but I don't have time for that until all the 46 cities. So I just brought you top 5 of it. So take a look. But Mumbai is Mumbai. Now, AJ, our viewers want to know how many properties you own in Mumbai.
Exactly, none.
None. So now talk about Mumbai, talk about India, and talk about World Cup cricket.
Absolutely, you can't finish the segment without talking about the World Cup cricket here.
This is really, really interesting tournament.
It's amazing.
There are records are being broken, and there are
Left and
heroes.
right.
Almost every single game has a hero. When I say hero, meaning a player really performs, far better than expected, does something unusual, right? And they are making their marks in the history of cricket
That
World
has
Cup.
never been done before.
It's never been done before. First of all, I really want to bring this up before I go to the next cricket story. Sri Lanka, right? Sri Lanka game against Bangladesh. All right. What happened was one of Sri Lanka's very finest all-rounders and been around for many years, former captain of Sri Lanka, Angelo Matthews.
Right.
Angelo Matthews came out to bat, right? And obviously, when a batter gets out, and by the time batter gets back to the pavilion, the new batter has 2 minutes
Absolutely.
to walk
To
towards
walk
the
in.
crease, take a guard, and start playing, right? Angelo Matthews took a little longer than that because he was trying to fix his helmet. He was playing around with the helmet. People didn't know what was going on. So Bangladesh captain Shakib Hassan complained to umpire that 2 minutes have passed. And umpire says, Angelo, you're going to have to go. Angelo is trying to explain the story that my helmet strap is broken. I'm trying to fix it, blah, blah, blah. Even though he had called the 12th man to come in and give a helmet. But this situation lasted. He tried to talk to the captain of Bangladesh. He goes, look, rule is a rule.
Well,
so Angelo Matthews became the first international player to be timed out. And that happened in World Cup 2023. All right, now let's go to the next story, and that's Mexico. Glenn Maxwell takes down so many records against Afghanistan. Afghanistan really controlled Australia, and they had taken 5 wickets in less than 100 runs. Yep. And I'm like, the game is over because Glenn Maxwell was already hurt by playing golf a couple of days ago. This man comes in, and to everyone's beyond disbelief, single man scores double century.
Absolutely.
And the way he was hitting sixes, standing up. Even the captain of Australia, Pat Cummins, didn't want to take a single between the over because he wanted Maxi to continue to hit so that way he doesn't have to run and his body won't give up. This man won the match for Australia at a very pivotal time. Right. And New Zealand, of course, New Zealand came out really, really good, for their semi-final spot. And this was against Sri Lanka. So now New Zealand is almost secure. By the time you watch the show, the equation might change. But it's a good possibility that New Zealand may become the fourth.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, Pakistan.
Unless Pakistan really, really wins the match at a huge
margin. Oh, man, they have to win a huge margin. They have to bowl out England in like 13 overs.
Yes, exactly. It's not practically possible.
All right. I've been signaled by production room that time is up, and we need to say, thank you so much for watching the show, AJ. Thank you for your time. When we come back next week, we're going to have semi-final information, Cricket World Cup. Till then, I am Sanjeev Pandya, wishing you all happy and a good days ahead. Do take care of yourself. So long.
Thank you.